guys? It's your boy. Here we are today with another trailer, gameplay, breakdown, video, what have you. Still don't know what I'm calling them yet. But today we are looking at God of War Ragnarok, the gameplay trailer that they just released at the PlayStation Showcase this year. I haven't seen it at all, so I'm excited. For those of you that don't know, God of War is one of my all-time game franchises. Favorite game ever. Tried to get the swords. Like you have no idea. God of War is great, especially because of the fact that I loved Greek mythology. I loved God of War 4, how they introduced Norse mythology. I'm honestly super excited for it. I need to get a PS5 just to get it. So let's get into it. Boys, here it is. God of War Ragnarok gameplay trailer. Let's get into it. Full screen, of course. Okay. I like that.
Time is running out. The prophecies say Fimbulwinter leads to Ragnarok. War is coming. My story doesn't end hiding in these woods. I should be out there, finding out who I am, who Loki is.
I will not allow you to pick a fight with gods.
I don't want to fight anyone. I just want answers.
And if those answers lead to war with Asgard,
Maybe that's what Mother wanted.
we do not know what Mother wanted.
Well, I recognize that dour expression anywhere. Odin's got tricks up his sleeve we haven't dared to consider.
What if there was someone who could help us?
You mean Tyr, the old god of war in these lands, who is dead?
Well, for a dead man, Odin seemed pretty keen on seeing he wasn't found.
If he's out there, we gotta find him.
Come in. What in all yarn speed that happened to him?
We're trying to stop Ragnarok, to help people. And what if the only way to do that is war?
Oh shit.
Is not the only way.
Stop thinking like a father for a moment and start thinking like a general.
You seem like a calm and reasonable person. Are you a calm and reasonable person? In
Okay.
moments of crisis,
Okay.
panic does nothing. Harness it.
Fucking centaurs. All right.
Serve you.
Tyr!
Oh.
Are you coming with us?
He's a big boy.
You'll get your answer soon enough. Well, some of them.
Who the fuck is this? Okay. All right. So obviously quite a bit going on there. If you don't know, the God of War series are broken up into trilogies. There's the original trilogy, God of 1, 2, 3. Obviously he goes up against the Greek gods. This one I'm not sure if it's already been like announced, and I'm kind of like late to the news. But if it hasn't been, I feel like it's going to be another trilogy, God of 4, 5, and 6, where it's a war and a battle against the Norse gods, which is legit. And of course, he's going to need help from the Norse god of war because he's the Greek god of war. This is fucking legit. Okay, I love it so much. Let's delve into it. Let's see what we see. Let's get it. So obviously they're hiding out in some cave. They left their home for whatever reason. I'm sure after their run-in with Thor, who showed up at their cabin, probably had to flee. Now the way they kind of alluded to it later in the trailer, he's like talking to him, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. But yeah, obviously it looks like they're in a cave somewhere, hiding out. I love this because in Loki and mythology, and obviously in the MCU, Loki is known to have the horns. And I love how they do the whole silhouette thing with him having horns. But in reality, it's just a deer. And here, he looks a little older. Like, he's still young, but he looks a little bit older, a little bit taller. So maybe a year or two has passed and they're out living in the wilderness and he's grown a little bit more matured.
Time is running out.
He sounds older too. If you hear his voice, he sounds older. It's like in his teens.
The prophecies say Fimbulwinter leads to Ragnarok.
So he knows that after the winter ends, Ragnarok will happen, which, if you're not aware, Ragnarok is essentially Norse mythology's apocalypse. It's the end of the world.
War is coming. My story doesn't end hiding in these woods. I should be out there.
And of course, as all teenagers are, he is impatient. He wants to see action. He wants to prove himself. He wants to become who he is going to become. So obviously he's throwing a little bitch fit because he's in his teens and that's what they do.
Finding out who I am, who Loki is.
I will not allow you to pick a fight with gods.
I don't want to fight.
So I feel like right here, this is when they finally decide to leave. So I feel like they've been in hiding in the woods somewhere, right? Safe. The other gods can't find them. So they leave the safety of whatever bubble or whatever they're in, right? Now they're able to be detected by the other gods. Freya, who's obviously still pissed about the death of her son, is the first to attack them. I love Kratos's comment right here, though.
I will not allow you to pick a fight with gods.
I will not allow you to pick a fight with gods. Because who else on earth knows the repercussions and the pains and the sorrows and the hardships that you go through from picking a fight with gods? None other than Kratos. He's been down this road. Obviously, and that was the theme of the last game. Also, when he kills, what the fuck is his face? The dude who can't die. I forget his name. He quotes his father, which is the cycle ends here, where it's children killing their fathers. He wants to end the cycle. He wants people to stop making the same mistakes that he did. And he's attempting to prevent his own son from making the same mistakes he did, which is picking a fight with gods, because he knows the kind of dark path that you go down when you choose that type of life. It's great. He's being a good father. But as with most parents, as they understand, and we'll find out, you can't teach your child your mistakes. They have to make their own mistakes themselves, so that way they can learn. We're stubborn that way.
I don't want to fight anyone. I just want answers.
And if those answers lead to war with Asgard?
Maybe that's what Mother wanted.
Yeah, maybe that's what Mother wanted. Maybe Mother wanted to, go to war. Because if you remember, his mother, forget her name, she was a giant. And if you know anything about Norse mythology, the giants and Asgardians don't mix. They don't go well together. So maybe that's what his mother wanted.
We do not know what Mother wanted.
You don't know what Mother wanted. Well, I love how Mimir is now he's just living there. He's probably like painting something or writing something because he's got nothing else to do. I love how he's just living there, and he's like,
I recognize that dour expression anywhere.
like, I recognize that expression anywhere. He's like, you're pissed. What's going on?
Odin's got tricks up his sleeve we haven't dared to consider.
What if there was someone who could help us?
You mean Tyr, the old god of war in these lands?
The old god of war of these lands. This is what's great, because they, even though it's different mythology, it's a different story, they're still centered around the god of war. And obviously the Greek god of war is going to go and seek help from the Norse god of war, because the Norse god of war has been wronged in some way, shape, or form by the father, all father, god of gods, whatever. Parallel, Zeus, Odin fucked over the god of war, Kratos, and Tyr. So he's like, yo, enemy of my enemy is my friend. Let's go find this motherfucker and let's see what we can do. But everyone in the land believes that Tyr is dead.
Who is dead?
Well, for a dead man, Odin seemed pretty keen on seeing he wasn't found.
If he's out there, we gotta find him.
So I feel like the entire storyline or arc of this game is going to essentially be you're going on quests to try to find Tyr, and at the end of it, once Tyr is found, that's going to be at the end of this game. Once you find him, there'll probably be some like big fight and stuff at the end, as there always is. But I feel like the next game is going to set up, you know, them teaming up with Tyr and going to fight Odin or going to fight whoever, because Atreus, aka Loki, wants, you know, figures out that Odin fucked him over or something.
Come in. What in all yarn speed that happened to him?
I like how, see, this is how you could see that he's gotten older, because before they were the same height. Now he's older and he's like, yo, what the fuck happened to you? You're like, you're big as shit now.
We're trying to stop Ragnarok, to help people.
This is probably going to be some other character that will help you along your quest and your journey. Maybe help you soup up your stuff, maybe point you in the right direction. Don't know.
And what if the only way to do that is war?
Love the mechanics. Love the new mechanics that they're having in with God of War. A lot of the moves that they introduced in the God of War 4, and it seems as if they're introducing here, are not the same. There are a lot of different things. So I really enjoy that, because one, you don't get bored with the same things over and over again, same moves, same all that stuff. Great thing to do. And two, it kind of is a little bit of a nod to him growing as a person and as a warrior, because if you remember in the original trilogy, it was all about slashing, hacking, murder, kill you. Here he did like a body bump. He hits him and he pushes him off, you know, he pushes him off, stuff like that. So he's a little bit more experienced, he knows his surroundings. Before it was just like berserker, fucking kill everybody. So I like that he's growing.
War is not the only way.
I love that. I love how the story is now him, like, internal conflict. Who he was before, which was all about war. He was the god of war and fighting and stuff. And now he's this older, wiser man who knows that war is not the only way. He's like, yo, we can find another way. What all of the gods, Athena and everybody like that, were trying to tell him before, mainly Athena was trying to tell him before, it's like, it doesn't have to be a murder spree, like, chill the fuck out. And he's finally accepting that and realizing it, and he's trying to teach that to his son. But his son, of course, as young people are, hot-headed, hot-blooded, you know, they just want to get in the action. But he's more I like that.
Stop thinking like a father for a moment and start thinking like a general.
I love that. I love that, because literally what I just said, his internal conflict, Atreus says it out loud. He's like, yo, he uses the word father and general, but what he really means is stop being who you are now and be the man that you were before. We gotta fight. We gotta go and, you know, kick some ass. And he knows that that's not what needs to happen. So he's like, no. And I feel like this game is going to be the pivotal moment where he decides, you know, who dominates, the god of war or the man in the woods. That's who we're gonna see, and I love it.
You seem like a calm and reasonable person.
So right here.
Are you a calm and reasonable person?
So right here, that voice, I'm 80% sure that is Thor. It makes me believe that when Thor showed up to their house, it wasn't for a fight. Him showing the hammer was just kind of like a show of force, maybe, or something like that. What I think probably happened wasn't that they got into a fight, because it seems like the beginning of the game is it starts with them in the woods. So you wouldn't just gloss over such an epic battle and not actually have the fight, you know? So what I think happened was Thor went to their place because he knows who Atreus / Loki is. And he knows that he's the key to, you know, preventing Ragnarok or winning Ragnarok or whatever, right? So he goes and he's like, are you a calm and reasonable man? I want to talk to you. He's talking to Kratos because it's like basically gonna tell him like, yo, I need to take your son in order to fight a war or win a war or whatever, and I need you to understand. And he's trying to convince Kratos. Kratos is probably gonna tell him to fuck off, that's my son, all that good shit. And then that's when they go into hiding. That's my theory about what happened with the exchange between Thor and Kratos. Don't get me wrong, I do believe that there will be a fight at some point between Kratos and Thor. You can't just not have that fight. Like that is a fight that is going to happen. Here, I love it because they had the Bifrost. They had the Bifrost. They shoot down whoever the fuck this guy is. More gameplay, I love it. I love the fact how here, because they didn't really do it too much in God of War 3, which is where you got a lot more weapons. They didn't show them on him. Here, it's a little bit more realistic. He has his blades, he has the axe, and that's really all he has. He doesn't, in God of War 3, he had like 6, 7 fucking blades everywhere, and they would just pop up, you know? Great gameplay, great, you know, great stuff, but I always liked a little bit of realism, you know, and be like, okay, he's got his blades on his back, he's got the axe here, and he can switch in and out, all that good stuff. I like that, and I like the duality of it, how he can use both of them. More monsters.
In moments of crisis.
Centaurs, not the first time he's fought a centaur, so he knows what's up.
Panic does nothing.
I wanna listen to his monologue.
In moments of crisis. Panic does nothing. Harness it. Let it serve you.
So obviously right there is another teaching moment for Atreus. I'm sure he got into a fight or something like that. He freaked out something. He's like, in times of crisis, you need to chill the fuck out. Don't let it, you know, don't let the panic consume you. Don't let the fear take over you. Use it, channel it to win.
Tyr!
They find Tyr.
Are you coming with us?
I love how he's just this monster of a man just coming up, and Kratos is just like, yo bitch, like, are you coming or going? Like, you got a choice to make. He is unfazed whatsoever. If you see him, he's still looking at him dead in his motherfucking eye, because he's just like, yo man, I don't give a shit if you fucking tall. I fought taller. He's literally what Thor said, yo big, I fought bigger. That's literally what he's doing right there. God of War, Ragnarok.
You'll get your answer soon enough.
And then I don't know who the fuck this bitch is.
Well, some of...
I literally have no clue. I'm more Greek mythology, not too much Norse mythology. I know a bit. Honestly have no idea who this is. If you know who this could potentially be, leave it down in the comments below. Let me know. Obviously she's going to be an important character. Probably I feel like a closer tie to Atreus Loki. some sort of connection there. Maybe a love interest. Ooh.
Of them.
So yeah, God of War Ragnarok. There it is, the God of War Ragnarok trailer. I don't know about you, but I'm excited. It looks fucking sick. I can't wait for it to come out. Like I said before, I'm gonna have to, I still don't have one. I'm gonna have to buy a PS5 to play it. We would definitely be having some gameplay videos, maybe if possible some streams with it. And excuse me, let me know what you think. Let me know what games you're excited that are coming out that you just can't wait to play. Let me know what other games, videos, movies, trailers, what have you want me to take a look at, review. I'm always happy to do so. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.